Welcome to the show where stories unfold.
Let's go.
People doing big things, breaking the mold. They're changing the game, making waves every day.
Big move.
Shining bright with the work that is right.
Shine on.
This is Breaking the Silence with Nikki
Nikki Nicole in the building.
Unleash your inner voice and make some
Turn up.
noise.
Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast with Arthur and Nikki Nicole. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell your cousin, tell your friend, tell your neighbor to come over here and break the silence with Arthur and Nikki Nicole. Welcome to another powerful episode. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the conversation.
It was early morning. The house was still quiet, just beginning to stir. My wife had just left for work, and I was lying in bed with Gabby, watching her sleep. Her tiny fingers wrapped around mine, breathing softly against my arm. Beside me, Cassidy had just started to wake up. But instead of easing into the morning, she launched right into a full conversation mode, talking my head off about what she's going to do for the day and everything else, asking questions. Now it's around about maybe 9, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. But I smile because that's Cassidy. She's going to talk and she's going to ask questions. Full of life and words before the sun even rise, she's talking. As I try to answer her and looking at Gabby's sleep, I heard a knock at the door. I'm like, now who is knocking at my door this time of the morning? It was Nicholas. He needed to talk. One of those real heart on the table conversations. And I knew that just from the knock. This one was going to matter, right? Just as I stood up, trying not to wake Gabby up or lose track of what Cassie was saying, my phone rang. It was Amani, calling to vent about life, needing to let it all out, and needing me to just listen. No fixing, just listen. And there I was in that moment, holding this toddler, listening to a child, not even a toddler, holding a newborn, listening to the toddler talk nonstop. I mean nonstop. Comforting my son, my grown son, and being a safe place and space for my adult daughter. Three generations, one mom. Between lullabies and life talks, ABCs, career advice, newborn laughter, toddler laughter, grown-up grief, that moment told the whole story, right? I'm not just raising a child again. I'm raising love across a timeline. I'm mothering from memory and from now. And somehow, I'm still standing. I want to welcome everybody to the Breaking the Silence podcast with your host, Arthur, Nikki Nicole. I'm so glad that you're here, whether you're a seasoned parent, a mom raising kids again, or someone just navigating the chaos of family across generations. This is the space for you. Together, we'll share stories, struggles, and victories as we embrace motherhood in all its forms. So just take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's dive in. You're not alone on this journey. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. When I became a mother to Nicholas and Amani, I was just a kid myself. When I had Nicholas, I was 16 years old, trying to find my way after the loss of my father while stepping into the most life-challenging role of them all, motherhood. I was scared. I was grieving. I was exhausted. But every day, I still showed up. I worked. I provided. I cheered at games. Had birthday parties. Wiped tears. Held them when they were sick. But most days, I was tired. Body, soul, all of me was tired. There wasn't time to reflect, not much room for self care. It was just survival. I was always in survival mode. And as hard as those years were, I still love deeply and wholeheartedly. My children was my reason and still are my reasons, even when I felt like I had none. But I always carried that quiet fear. Was I enough? Did they feel loved? Would they remember the love or the tiredness? Days I didn't want to move, but I did anyway. Days I didn't want to get up, but I did anyway. The times when I gave them things they wanted and needed and was barely scraping by. I had a breaking point at a time where I tried to commit suicide. I overdosed on bottle pills. And when I woke up, I was looking at the ceiling as they were pumping my stomach. And when they took me to my room and I saw Nicholas and Monty's faces, I knew I had to be stronger than I've ever been before by just striving to be the best mother that I could be. From that day, I strive to just prove to not only myself, but to them that I love them more than anything, more than the air that I breathe. Years passed, I went through menopause early, and me and my wife prayed for a child to raise together. She was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and I thought motherhood was behind me, honestly, and I didn't think that it was ever going to happen. But then one day it did, and there was Gabby. God blessed us with Gabby. Gabby has been the highlight of my days. An unexpected surprise, miracle, and then suddenly I was a mother again, but in a new body, worn out, filled with illnesses, with a new heart. But this time it just hit different. I'm mother now from wisdom, not just instinct. I capture moments I used to miss. I hold longer. I dance with her more. I rest with her when I can. I'm still working on that. Continue to pray for me. This time I don't just survive, I savor. And there's a difference. I do not take time for granted at all. I cherish every moment that I spend with her and everyone around me. I take my 24 hours more seriously now than I've ever done before. I've realized that time is more precious than anything, and I'm striving every day to leave a legacy behind that they will always remember. But I'm not going to lie, it's not always easy. My blood pressure is always high, my chest is always hurting. I'm stressed when I cannot snap my fingers and fix things for them. My heart is heavy and my prayers are longer. I pray every day that God will forever hold my children in his arms especially in the moments I'm not there or cannot be there. I worry about things I cannot fix. I'm drained and I'm overwhelmed. But yet, while I'm changing diapers, I'm offering advice about jobs, relationships, mental health. While I'm singing lullabies, I'm also praying for my grown kids as they face real life battles. I carry 3 generations in my heart every single day. One is still rediscovering, discovering the world and learning everything. And two are trying to survive in it. Sometimes I feel stretched. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing enough. Sometimes I wonder if I'm healing what was broken or just patching the past. But then I remember I'm not raising Gabby to make up for what I didn't give. I'm raising her because love expands. Nicholas and mine weren't part one, they were part of. Gabby is not a redo, she's a renewal. And I've learned so many things on this journey that we call parenting, especially in different generations. Gabby won't remember if the dishes weren't always done, but she'll remember being seen and heard. I come from a generation where a child was not seen or heard, where a child had to stay in a child's place, where therapy wasn't suggested, where mental health was ignored. But I want to change the narrative for Gabby. I want her to know that her thoughts matter. You see, your past doesn't disqualify you, it deepens you. I'm a better mother now because of the mother I had to be then. I never realized how much I learned until now. I never realized how much I survived until now. I never realized how much I mattered until now. But one thing's for certain is grace will carry you and what guilt can't. I don't parent from shame anymore. I parent from strength, from healing, from truth. And when I was pregnant at 16, I was ashamed because I was a child raising a child. I ain't know nothing about life. I didn't know what was going to hit me before it hit me. I prayed all the time. My children were not following my footsteps. And most teens, they drop out of school, but I graduated from high school even after having a child at a young age. But Lord knows it was not easy. I had to start adulthood early because abortion was just not an option for me. I had reasons to do better and want better. My whole perspective of life changed. And when you're able to write new endings to your old chapters, every hug, every prayer, every bedtime story is a line in redemption of your story. Mine, and maybe even theirs, right? So if you're listening to this and you're parenting again later in life, whether it's your child, your grandchild, your foster baby, or a child of your heart in some type of way, I want you to hear this. You were chosen for this very moment, chosen for this generation, chosen to mother differently, chosen to mother deeper. 3 generations, one mom. That's not a burden, it's a calling. You're not behind, you're building something internal. You are proof that love doesn't retire. It reimagines, it renews, it revives. There's no greater legacy than a mother who chooses to love well in every season. And if this message touched your heart in any type of way, I invite you to subscribe to the Breaking the Silence podcast. Share this episode with another mother rewriting her story and changing the narrative. And join me as we continue to love, lead, and grow across generations. Thank you so much for listening to my journey, to my story. So until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep becoming the best version of yourself. Later.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space that'll waste my mind, so I meditate till I levitate, I elevate, but I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it, hate the lows but I need those to flourish, place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me, breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm Nikki Nicole, let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.